Hello everyone, I am Professor S.V. Patil from Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, D.Y. Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Kasba Boda, Kolhapur. We are going to discuss collisions in hashing, which is one of the subtopic related to data structures. Two or more keys hash to the same slot. For a given set of k of keys, if modulus of k is less than or equal to m, collisions may or may not happen depending on the hash function. And if modulus of k is greater than m, collisions will definitely happen. That is, there must be at least two keys that may have the same hash value. Avoiding collisions completely is hard, and even with a good hash function, there may be the possibility that collisions cannot be avoided. Handling collisions, collision resolution techniques. So there are different collision resolution techniques. We will review the following methods. Number 1, chaining, and number 2, open addressing, which has subtypes linear probing, quadratic probing, double hashing. So we'll discuss chaining first and the ways to build a good hash functions. Chaining involves maintaining two tables in a memory. First of all, there is a table T in memory which contains the records of F. And note that the table has additional field link which is used so that all the records in T with same hash addresses H may be linked together to form a linked list. If a new record, say R, has to be added in the file F, we place R in the first available location in the table and a reference or a pointer of R is added to the linked list. When the linked list is sorted, then the record is inserted in the beginning. This is called separate chaining. Now let's move on to the collision with chaining. Choosing the size of the table is important. The table should be small enough not to waste the space and should be large enough such that the lists remain short. Typically 1/5 or 1/10 of the total number of elements are occupied. How should we keep the list, whether it should be ordered or unordered? Obviously not ordered or unordered, because it results in insertion faster and can easily remove the most recently inserted elements. Second method, open addressing. If we have enough contiguous memory to store all the keys, that is small m greater than n, which results in store the keys in the table itself. So no need to use linked list anymore. Basic idea is insertion. If a slot is full, try another one until you find an empty one. And searching, follow the same sequence of probes for searching, and deletion may be more difficult in open addressing. Search time depends on the length of the probe sequence. So here, as shown in this figure, for example, to insert 14, the location 9 is used. Generalized hash function notation. A hash function contains two arguments now, 1 key value and 2 probe number. H of k comma p, p ranging from 0 to m minus 1, and probe sequences h of k comma 0, h of k comma 1, and so on, h of k comma m minus 1. So there must be permutations of 0 to m minus 1, and there are m factorial possible permutations. Good hash functions should be able to produce m factorial probe sequences. Common open addressing methods: linear probing, quadratic probing, double hashing. These are the open addressing methods. None of these methods can generate more than m square different probe sequences. So let's see linear probing, that is inserting a key. Idea is when there is a collision, check the next available position in the table, that is probing. So h of k comma I equal to h1 of k plus I mod of m, I ranging from 0, 1 and so on. first slot probed is equal to h1 of k. Second slot probed is h1 of k plus 1. Third slot probed is h1 of k plus 2, and so on. So it can generate m probe sequences. Maximum probe sequence is h1 of k, h1 of k plus 1, h1 of k plus 2, and so on. Linear probing, that is searching for a key. 3 cases. Number 1, position in table is occupied with an element of equal key. Number 2, position in table is empty. And number 3, position in table occupied with a different elements. So case 2, that is probe in the next higher index until the element is found or an empty position is found. So the process wraps around to the beginning of the table. Linear probing, deleting a key. Problems: cannot mark the slot as empty, and it is impossible to retrieve the keys inserted after the slot was occupied. The solution is mark the slot with a sentinel value, that is deleted. The deleted slot can later be used for insertion. Searching will be able to find all the keys. So let's see the quadratic probing. Quadratic probing in this method, suppose a record R with key k has the address h of k equal to small h. This method, instead of searching the locations with addresses h of h plus 1, h plus 2, we linearly search the location with addresses h plus 1, h plus 4, h plus 9, and so on h plus I square. So if the number m of locations in the table T is a prime number, then the above sequence will access half of the locations in T. Double hashing. Number 1, use one hash function to determine the first slot. Number 2, use a second hash function to determine the increment for the probe sequence. That is, h of k comma I equal to h1 of k plus I h2 k mod of m, where I is equal to 0, 1, and so on. So initial probe is h1 of k, second probe is offset by h2 of k mod m, and so on. So advantage of double hashing is it avoids clustering, and disadvantage is that it is harder to delete an element, and it can generate m square probe sequences in maximum. So that's about double hashing, and here we conclude the topic of hashing. Thank you.